Hello there! You have just tuned into my new segment titled Mass. Now, before I introduce this wonderful, amazing, talented, gifted, beautiful person next to me, let me just give you a little background information about Masterpiece. Now, whenever you think about the word masterpiece, the definition is a piece of work. Now, when I think about the word masterpiece, I think about our lives. You know, God creates us for a purpose. You know, our purpose becomes this beautiful masterpiece. Now, whenever you see an artist creating something, they might not understand, or you might not understand exactly what they're going through as they're getting to that end point, but at the end it becomes this beautiful masterpiece, you know, that they add all these colors, take out some things and things like that, and then it becomes this wonderful masterpiece. That's how I look at our lives. Like, we go through things in life. We might not understand why we're going through it, but at the end, God has this masterpiece of a purpose, of our destiny at the end, at our end product, you know? So, right next to us, well, right next to me, sorry, I have the amazing, wonderful Shanique Gayle, also known as Iysis.
Hey.
Now, she has a wonderful story. Her life is becoming this beautiful masterpiece, you know, with the trials and tribulations and everything like that. So, before we go into her story, I want her to just give her a little background information, you know, because she just started this beautiful, amazing blog that you guys should subscribe to. It's in the little comment box you'll find down there, the little thingy-mabob, you can find the link to her amazing blog. So can you just give us a little bit of information about your blog?
Yes, again, it's called Love with Ice, okay, because I am known as Iysis, I-Y-S, not I-S-I-S, okay, I'm not a terrorist, but yes, Love with Ice, and it's just about love in general, about loving yourself, loving the people around you, the proper way to love, not just what you think love is, but how to do it. You know, a lot of people say they love, but they don't know how to. And it's a lot. It's literally one big ball of me. You know, it's my talents, it's other people's talents, it's music, it's love, it's life, it's everything in one. You'll see it when you go there to that link. Okay?
So definitely make sure you subscribe. The link will be down at the bottom. All right, so then start into your story. Like, you just recently were sentenced. Well, you just got out of jail recently.
Yes.
How long ago was it?
A year ago.
It was
a year ago.
So what exactly happened? How did you end up in jail?
I was doing fraud checks off of someone's account. I worked at a bank that I did it at. I used this lady's account, made checks, paid for everything around me, my family, friends, and everything. So that was pretty serious. Up to $45,000 is what I got.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. Now that's crazy.
That is crazy. So during that, like, what was your sentencing? How long did they sentence you?
Well, when I first would turn myself in, they were sentencing me for 5 years minimum. Okay, that's when we first went in. My lawyers tried, you know, everything. Well, I had a public defender, but they weren't budging on 5 years. Okay. Then we went back to my actual trial date, not trial, but, you know, pre-trial, and they actually ended up sentencing me to 3 months.
Wow. So it went from 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
To what?
3 months.
3 months?
3 months. And they weren't budging off the 5 years minimum.
Wow.
You know, 15 was my max, but 5 years was the minimum. Like, they weren't budging. They were not, like, they argued us down. They weren't going to change it. So 5 years the minimum. I ended up only serving 3 months in jail.
Wow.
Not in prison, in jail.
In jail.
Yes.
So they wanted 5 years minimum in prison.
In prison.
And what was the maximum?
Prison, 15 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And that went all the way down to what?
3 months.
3 months?
Yes, which I didn't have to do but 60 days off these 3 months because of when I got in there, I worked off time, and I only ended up doing like 60 days off these entire 3 months. So, yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
You're right.
God,
okay? Definitely God.
Not crazy. Crazy was what I was doing. And God worked his way.
Definitely. So what did you learn in that season of your life?
In that season, from what I learned, I can't be everybody's savior. That was a lot. That's why I got in that position, you know, trying to save my family, trying to save my friends, pay their bills. I'm not everybody's savior. That's one. Two, to rely on God's love. You know, like, there's no love like God's love. And I wouldn't have even known that without going to jail, you know, because outside of jail, I moved around. I was everywhere. I wasn't focused on God, you know, or myself. I really wasn't focused on myself either. So it literally taught me to love God, to go to Him for everything, to talk to Him for everything, to understand and believe in Him, you know, because other than that, I would have been up the road in prison right now, still in prison, just sitting there, you know. So that's the major lesson it taught me.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, it was something you told me yesterday, because, we were talking yesterday and everything like that, about how God used you pretty much in jail. So can you give us a little bit background?
Of course. In jail, at first, everybody looks secluded. They're all sectioned off. And I was one of the ones that when I got in there, I read my Bible. When I say I read my Bible front to back, because like I said, that was the only time I could sit and give myself my time, my anything to God. Because you have nothing to do, but think. You get what I'm saying? So in that midst of me praying to God, talking to God, and still being my bubbly self, because I didn't let that get underneath me, as far as get me down. You get what I'm saying? I just used God as saying thank you. I may be in jail, but I could have been in prison, waiting to go or whatever. So I would go around, be happy with people. Hey, how you doing? Do you need this? Like, are you okay? And I would, pray for people. And mind you, there were other people in the Bible, but everyone seemed to come to me. And they were like, a lot of people came up to me, women, they were like, I've never seen anybody with your light. Like, they were like, you come in the room and it just brightens up. And she, one girl came and she was like, I just never met anybody like you. They need more people out there like you. And they would ask me to pray for them. And I was like, wow, people are coming to me. Now, mind you, you have older people over there that know the exact word of God. They don't even go to them for that. They're like, no, I don't want them praying over me. I want you to. You get what I'm saying? Like, so he used me to reach to other people, to talk about his love, to talk about his grace, as to why am I so happy in jail? Why am I smiling? Why am I giving out this, doing that? And, that was really a good feeling. That's a great feeling.
I bet. Just knowing that in the midst of darkness, you're still the light there. Exactly. Even though you're going through the same, kind of like the same stuff that they're going through, maybe worse, maybe not as worse, but just to know that you still have that joy and, that peace upon you. Exactly. That's just beautiful. Now, after you got released from jail, your 3 months, what happened after that?
One of my best friends, she let me move in with her, immediately. She came to get me from jail, let me move in with her. And I started looking for jobs, got a job within a week, literally 5 days later. I was making $12 an hour, not some regular just job, you get what I'm saying? So worked there for a little bit and just kept it going, got from that job to a better job, and that's just how everything went. I was reaccepted into FAU because I actually took the time to go apply again, I didn't have probation. I should have. I'm just saying, but I didn't have probation. I had to do 70 hours of community service to get everything done, and that was that, that's been it.
Did y'all hear that? I don't think I heard that. So she was supposed to get minimum 5 years, right? 5 years. Was only given what? Well, 5 years in prison, first of all. But was only given what?
3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
In jail.
In jail. West Palm Beach.
In West Palm Beach. And then you got a job. With a what?
$12 an hour. Paying really good.
$12 an hour. Yeah. A job right after. With a felony.
Oh, yes, with the felony.
With the felony.
Full convicted felon. Yes. Full convicted.
Y'all can't tell me there's no God first one. Then you were not on probation?
No.
Not on probation, but had to do community service.
70 hours community service.
70 hours of community service.
Not 500, not just 70 hours community service. And that covered all of my fees for the the court fees and things like that. That covered all of that. I didn't have to pay back court fees because of those 70 hours.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. Now, what's one thing? Because I truly believe that your story, one, it encourages me. Yeah. A period. You already know it does encourage me. But it might be someone that's going through something similar to. They might have had a felony. They might not be able to get a job as quickly as you did right afterwards. That 1 week. What is something that you would say to them to just encourage them and to uplift them?
The one thing I would say, never let your conviction convict you. Okay, just because you did something bad and if you fully forgiven yourself and you went to God and asked for forgiveness and you won't go back, don't go back. Okay, that's one. Don't ever go back. And two, don't let that hold you back. Yes, you are a convicted felon, but you're not that convicted felon at the same time. That was you before. Now, be the person that you were supposed to be, that God gave you that chance to be. You get what I'm saying? So if you see a job, you go for it. And be honest. Tell them, yes, this is what I did. That's exactly what I did. I was like, this is what I did. That's who I was. But who I am now is completely different. And That's literally, they were like, and the first thing they say, we respect your honesty. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten more opportunity with just telling them, this is what happened, this is who I was, but this is who I am, than lying about it, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's like,
that is awesome.
Keep going, babies. Honestly, God sees you. He sees you.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, for being on my first episode on Masterpiece.
Of course, and this is the first time I'm ever sharing this story to anybody other than my immediate family, so I really hope you guys get like a good little insight and just keep going, babies.
And if you want to know more, you know what you should do?
Go to Love with Iysis. It's going to be all up there.
Go ahead and subscribe to her. And she'll go more in detail, with her own personal life, because she has an amazing story. Can't tell me the favor of God is not on this girl's life. You can't tell me that. Crazy. But yes, definitely subscribe to the to her blog. The link will be right at the bottom.
Subscribe, like, love, share, comment.
Yes,
tell me what you don't like, what you do like.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys on that next episode of Masterpiece.
Bye.